Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. When the Miami Dolphins take the field in 2025, there's one thing fans and analysts can agree on: Jordyn Brooks is poised for his best season yet. After a year of turbulence that saw the Dolphins shuffle through defensive coordinators, the defense finally has something it lacks: stability. Anthony Weaver returns as defensive coordinator for his second season, and that familiarity is already paying dividends. Brooks, now in his second year with the team, isn't just learning the playbook anymore, he's mastering it. He's entering training camp with confidence, precision, and leadership that's visibly rubbing off on teammates. "This time last year, you felt like you were still learning," Brooks said. "But it feels like we're fine-tuning right now. And that difference between learning and perfecting could be what turns a strong defense into a dominant one." Brooks understands the system, he trusts the coaches, and most importantly, he's ready to elevate every part of his game. In 2024, Jordyn Brooks proved that he's not just a solid linebacker, he's one of the best in the game. Starting all 17 games, he racked up 143 tackles, 6 pass breakups, and 3 sacks. Those numbers alone would be impressive, but the real story is in the details. According to Pro Football Focus, quarterbacks completed just 74% of their passes when targeting Brooks, the lowest rate he's allowed since his rookie season with Seattle in 2020. That's not just efficiency, that's growth. Brooks has taken command of the middle of the field, acting as a hybrid between a hard-hitting tackler and a savvy coverage defender. And it's not lost on him, you're always looking to expand your game. Leadership, everything, he explained. "It's not just about doing my job, it's about doing it better every single day." That's the mentality that defines great players, and Brooks, without a doubt, is approaching greatness in Miami. But for Brooks, success isn't measured in personal stats, it's measured in team development. What separates him from many players is his growing sense of leadership. "It's not just good enough to do that for me," he said. "It's also about expanding as a leader and helping teammates and bringing them along." That mindset is critical, especially on a team undergoing defensive turnover. Last year, Brooks led all Miami defenders with 1,039 snaps. The only others who came close: Jordan Poyer, Jevon Holland, and Jalen Ramsey are no longer on the roster. That leaves Brooks not just as a physical anchor, but an emotional and mental one as well. When you have a player who's logging the most minutes and still pushing to mentor others, that's the kind of foundation a team can build on. In many ways, Brooks isn't just a linebacker anymore. He's becoming the heartbeat of the defense, even with veterans like Ramsey gone. Brooks remains unfazed. His approach to leadership isn't dependent on who's around, it's grounded in consistency. "We have to do our part, no matter who's on or off the field," he said. When asked about Ramsey's departure, whether it was with him being on the field or not, the goal is to always get better. That's the energy Brooks brings into every snap. The Dolphins are no strangers to roster changes. But in the NFL, where injuries and trades are part of the game, stability has to come from within. That's where players like Brooks become invaluable. His ability to stay locked in, to rally teammates, and to maintain focus even in the face of change speaks volumes. In a league where distractions are constant, Brooks has become a model of focus and maturity. And it's clear he's earned the trust of coaches and teammates alike. As the Dolphins work to build a new identity on defense, Brooks is stepping into his most pivotal role yet. The secondary is evolving, featuring new starting cornerbacks and safeties, including the return of Minkah Fitzpatrick, a huge addition. Fitzpatrick, a 3-time All-Pro and one of the league's top defensive backs, brings elite talent and experience. But even more than that, Brooks sees his leadership as a critical piece. "The things he's done since he got into the league," Brooks said. "But I think his biggest thing is his leadership and his experience." That's the kind of insight you get from a player who understands the full picture. Brooks knows that schemes and talent are important, but chemistry and leadership elevate teams to the next level. With Fitzpatrick on the back end and Brooks commanding the middle, the Dolphins have the makings of a defense that could surprise everyone in 2025. While the secondary finds its rhythm, Brooks is particularly excited about what's happening in the trenches. "I'm excited about the front seven," he said. "I think we have a lot of experience and a lot of talent there," and he's right. With Zach Sealer returning to anchor the defensive line, Miami has a steady force up front. Add to that the emergence of 2024 first-round pick Chop Robinson, who's looking to build on a solid rookie campaign, and you have serious potential on the edge. But the excitement doesn't stop there. Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb, both former first-rounders, are returning to the lineup after injuries derailed their 2020 seasons. Their comeback could be the key to unlocking the Dolphins' full defensive potential. For Brooks, having that level of talent beside him means everything. It's not just about individual skill, it's about chemistry and collective force. Brooks knows exactly what those returning stars bring to the table. Anytime you got those guys on the field, it's exciting just because of what they bring to the game. He said, "We missed them all of last year, basically, but now, with Phillips and Chubb back and healthy, the Dolphins' defense suddenly looks far more complete. Their ability to pressure the quarterback, hold the edge, and make plays in the backfield will only help free up Brooks to do what he does best: roam, diagnose plays, and attack. And it's not just their play that makes a difference, it's their presence. Just their presence is big for us," Brooks added. "I know for me, it's great to have them out there. That kind of endorsement from your starting linebacker speaks volumes." Brooks sees the big picture. He knows what this defense can become, and he's ready to lead the charge heading into 2025. Miami's defense isn't just talented, it's structured. You've got pillars at every level. Up front, Sealer provides consistency and power. In the middle, Brooks is the brain and the heart. And in the back, Fitzpatrick adds IQ, awareness, and elite playmaking ability. That's a core you can build around. But as promising as that sounds, there are still questions. Can the new starters in the secondary gel quickly? Can Robinson take the next step? Will Phillips and Chubb stay healthy? These are the challenges Miami faces. But for a player like Brooks, those uncertainties don't create fear, they create focus. He understands that success isn't given, it's earned through hard work, training camp battles, and constant communication. It's just about building, Brooks said. That's where we are right now. That mentality is contagious. And with him at the center of it all, the Dolphins' defense is ready to make a leap. Training camp is more than just drills and film, it's where teams define their identity. And the Dolphins are in the thick of that process right now. Every rep matters, every meeting, every play, every adjustment. Brooks knows that. He's treating camp not just as preparation but as a mission. That's the mindset and the energy across the team. "We're building," he said, and you can feel it. The way he talks about his teammates, his goals, his role, it all signals a player who's more than locked in. He's evolving, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. The trust between him and Weaver is growing. The relationships across the defense are taking shape, and with that comes belief. Belief that they can be better than last year. Belief that they can dominate, and perhaps most importantly, belief that Brooks, now the anchor of this defense, can take his game to heights we've never seen before. The 2025 Miami Dolphins defense isn't a finished product. It's a work in progress, a puzzle coming together one piece at a time. But if there's one thing that's become abundantly clear, it's this: Jordan Brooks is the glue holding it all together. He's the rare player who balances production with leadership, humility with hunger. He's grown from a promising first-round pick into a seasoned veteran with the mentality of a champion. His instincts are sharper, his communication clearer, his drive stronger than ever. And as the season inches closer, Brooks isn't just preparing to play football, he's preparing to lead a movement. The Dolphins don't just need him to be good, they need him to be great, and by all indications, he's ready to deliver. So when September rolls around, don't be surprised if no 55 is at the center of everything Miami does defensively, commanding, controlling, and conquering every inch of the field. Still with us? Then show some love, hit that like button, and let us know in the comments, what's your take on the Fins this week? There's a strong buzz swirling around the NFL world this week, and it's centered in the sun-soaked heart of South Florida. Rumors are heating up that RASUL Douglas, the talented and experienced cornerback, is signing a massive 4-year deal with the Miami Dolphins, although the Dolphins front office has yet to officially confirm the move. Insiders are hinting that the deal is all but done. The whisper started shortly after Douglas was seen having dinner in Miami with what appeared to be members of the team's executive staff. Now, local reporters are suggesting the contract is worth a pretty penny and locks him in through the 2029 season. The idea of RASUL Douglas donning aqua and orange is already sending shockwaves through social media, with Dolphins fans fantasizing about what this could mean for their already stout secondary. While we wait for that official team announcement, all signs point to this deal being real and huge. What makes this potential signing so monumental isn't just Douglas's resume, it's the timing. Miami is in a win-now window. looking to capitalize on the elite play of quarterback Tua Tagovailoa and the offensive firepower, led by Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. But on defense, they've needed someone who can bring leadership, reliability, and playmaking ability to their cornerback group. That's where Douglas enters the conversation. The veteran DB had a strong campaign last season with the Buffalo Bills, showing his versatility, football IQ, and knack for making big plays in key moments. He's not just a coverage guy, he's a tone setter. He's vocal, physical, and has that gritty mentality the Dolphins' defense has sometimes lacked. Adding him to a unit that already includes stars like Jevon Holland and Bradley Chubb could be the final puzzle piece for Vic Fangio's defense. If the rumors are true, this is a franchise-shifting move, plain and simple. Let's take a moment to think about what RASUL Douglas brings to the table. Drafted in the 3rd round by the Philadelphia Eagles in 2017, he's had a roller coaster of a career, but one marked by resilience and growth. After some ups and downs in Philly and brief stints with a couple other teams, he found a home with the Green Bay Packers, where he re-emerged as a legitimate force in the secondary. His ball-hawking skills resurfaced, and his physical style reminded fans of old-school corners who weren't afraid to mix it up. When the Bills acquired him mid-season last year, it was seen as a rental move, but he made an immediate impact. Now, if the Dolphins are indeed inking him to a 4-year deal, it suggests they see him not just as a contributor, but as a cornerstone. The guy has playoff experience, veteran savvy, and still plenty of gas left in the tank. What's also intriguing here is how Douglas fits into the Dolphins' defensive scheme. Vic Fangio is known for complex zone coverages and disguises, and RASUL has thrived in those environments. His instincts and ability to read quarterbacks make him a natural in those systems. Unlike pure man-to-man corners who rely on speed and athleticism, Douglas uses his mind just as much as his body. That's why many believe this move could elevate the Dolphins' secondary from good to elite. Pair him with emerging talent like Kader Kohou or even veteran Xavier Howard if he sticks around, and suddenly you've got a deep, dangerous group. There's also talk that this signing could signal a shift in how the Dolphins build their defense, placing more emphasis on versatility and mental sharpness over raw athleticism. It's a strategic play, and one that could pay huge dividends come playoff time, of course. No move in the NFL comes without its fair share of questions. Some are wondering if Douglas's age, he turns 30 this year, could be a concern on a 4-year deal. Others point out that while he's had standout moments, his career hasn't always been consistent. But the Dolphins seem willing to bet on his recent resurgence being the real deal. Perhaps even more than that, they're betting on his leadership. Sources close to the locker room say Miami has been looking for more vocal veterans, guys who can command respect and keep everyone accountable. In that sense, Douglas fits the mold perfectly. He's seen it all, from being a Super Bowl champion in Philadelphia to bouncing around practice squads, to being a mid-season savior in Buffalo. He's hungry, he's experienced, and he knows how to win. If this rumor becomes reality, the Dolphins are getting much more than just a cornerback. What's fascinating here is how this potential deal impacts the rest of the AFC East. If Douglas leaves the Bills for the Dolphins, it not only weakens a division rival's defense, but also strengthens Miami in a major way. Buffalo will have to find a replacement quickly, and that's no easy task. Douglas was a key figure in their secondary, particularly down the stretch last season. His departure could create a ripple effect across the division, especially if the Dolphins manage to pull ahead in the standings. Jets and Patriots fans are already raising eyebrows, knowing that RASUL's move could shift the balance of power. Some analysts are even speculating that Miami is now the team to beat in the AFC East. That's a bold claim, but not entirely unfounded if they keep stacking talent like this. All the while, Douglas becomes a central figure in this brewing rivalry. Another layer to this rumor is how it aligns with Miami's recent approach to free agency. The Dolphins have been aggressive in building around their young core, making bold trades and signings to bolster their roster, from acquiring Jalen Ramsey to signing players like David Long Jr. It's clear that GM Chris Grier isn't afraid to take risks. RASUL Douglas would be another calculated gamble, high reward if he continues his strong play. And a leadership anchor if nothing else. Miami is not waiting for the future anymore. They believe their time is now. This isn't a rebuild. This is a charge toward a Super Bowl window that's been cracked open. And Douglas could be the reinforcement they need to break it wide open. The front office seems to understand that defense wins championships, and RASUL Douglas, in the right scheme, could be a game wrecker on any given Sunday. Even from a locker room perspective, RASUL could be the voice this team needs. Reports from Buffalo and Green Bay painted him as a vocal leader, someone unafraid to speak up in meetings and challenge teammates to be better. That kind of presence is invaluable, especially on a team like Miami, which has seen glimpses of greatness but sometimes lacked consistency. RASUL could bring that championship mentality, that all-business mindset that separates good teams from great ones. He's played under pressure. He's played injured. He's played for his career. That kind of grit can't be taught. It's earned. And if the Dolphins are truly bringing him in for years, that says a lot about how they view his intangible qualities. It's not just about the stats, it's about the culture. RASUL Douglas might just be the guy to help them flip the script from contender to champion. Fans naturally are split. Some are thrilled at the idea, flooding comment sections with praise and excitement. Others are more cautious, remembering past big-name signings that didn't quite pan out. But even the skeptics admit this one feels different. RASUL isn't just a flashy name. He's a worker, a grinder, and a guy who's earned every opportunity through persistence. In many ways, he reflects what Dolphins fans want their team to be: tough, relentless, and unafraid to take on the NFL's best. As this rumor continues to gain traction, anticipation is building. If the Dolphins do make this official in the coming days, expect a wave of excitement not just in Miami, but across the league. Because this move sends a message. Miami isn't just trying to make the playoffs anymore, they're trying to win it all, and RASUL Douglas could be the beginning of that next big chapter. So here we are on the verge of what could be one of the biggest free agent signings of the offseason. For years, one of the league's most underrated corners, a team hungry for a title. Everything seems to be aligning perfectly, but until the ink dries, it remains a rumor, a tantalizing, potentially transformative rumor. Still, where there's smoke, there's usually fire, and right now, there's a bonfire burning in Miami. RASUL Douglas to the Dolphins isn't just some fantasy football chatter, it's got real legs. Whether you're a Dolphins diehard, an AFC East rival, or just a football junkie, this is a storyline worth watching. Because if and when it becomes official, it won't just be another signing, it'll be a statement. A declaration that the Miami Dolphins are all in, and RASUL Douglas, he might just be the missing piece to make that bold dream a reality. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.